this young man has so much to say. I'll never forget when we first got started in the business, we went to San Diego, and this gentleman was up in front of the room speaking and doing the 1 through 10. He was eloquent. He was smooth. He was sharp. He was on point. He even had people ask a few questions right on, and just boom, boom, boom. I was like, who is this guy? Who is this? I thought he was already RVP, and it was executive team leader at the time. And I was just blown away just by how he carried himself and how he conducted business. And to this day, so he's always had that spot of respect and everything else in my heart. And I don't think you've ever known this, but he's always had it on his heart because of who he is and how he conducted himself at that back when he was an executive team leader, because he was acting as if, not if, what if one day, if that makes sense. He was part of the corporate world as an engineer. The guy's got it up here. He's smart, he's intelligent, he's business-minded, and a family man. And the first words out of his mouth, anytime we ever meet up, we talk, is, how's the family? How's Rose? How you guys doing? How's the kids? He's more concerned about everybody else than himself. It's just, he's been an amazing friend. We've always been able to shoot back and forth. It's these type of people, these type of business owners that get you to where you're going, and get you to RC, get you to RD, and get you to RVP. Guys, you got to find more friends like this man is right here, because of the value he adds to everybody he comes in contact with. With that being said, I'm going to cut the reins loose because I know he's going to be dropping the bomb on me, Mr. Julian Lewis.
Mr. King, good morning, sir. It's good to see your face, man. Hey, I'm excited to see you on a Tuesday. Also, it's ironic that you said what you said, because I was just gonna say I hope Rose is doing well, and I hope everyone's amazing, the grands, everyone. And you're right. You know, it's a blessing to find an opportunity, but it's a bigger blessing to find friendship within an opportunity. And I value you as a friend. I always enjoy our conversations, even going way back years ago. And, you know, just to see that you and her are still head down and going. I was looking for your to throw on that firefighter jacket again. But I'm gonna let you do that next Tuesday. So that we can get it. But no, I'm teasing, but it's great to see you. I love you, man, and I appreciate the kind words. You know, the feeling is mutual, and I'm excited to see you hit the next level as well. And ladies and gentlemen, I am extremely excited to be with you this morning. It's funny. Mr. King was talking about a few things. He said when he first met me, he thought I was something, and acting as if, and there are things that happened that I learned in corporate America that were bad things that I came into ACN with, and I had to eliminate. And then there were things that I learned through sports that were great things that allowed me to succeed a lot quicker than some. And I want to address a few of those things this morning. But before I do, I haven't done this in a while. I know there are a lot of new people on here too. So what I want to do is I just want to give you a little bit about my background so you understand where I'm coming from. Prior to getting involved with ACN, I was a senior systems engineer. I was working roughly 80 to 90 hours a week at my job, and I was averaging 50 to 60 flights a year. It put me in a situation where I didn't have control of my time. And that became a problem when my fiance and I found out we were going to have a baby girl. I never saw myself as a type of father that was only there financially and not physically, if any of you could relate. Good fortune came my way. I was introduced to this company by my first mentor in this industry, who shared with me a system that allowed me to replace my income at my job and enabled me to come home to my family. But the biggest part of that was being able to become the type of father that I felt my daughter deserved. And I have this thing that I do with my daughter each morning. I send it. I would think that she would think it was corny, but she actually enjoys it. So I send her pictures. She's 16. She's about to finish up her 11th grade year. She's supposed to be in the 10th, but I send her pictures from back in the day when she was a kid. And the reason why I send her that is just a reminder, man, just to continue to be a kid and have fun. And she enjoys those pictures as she goes into school in the morning. And if I don't send them, she'll say, "Hey, where's my picture?" So I could tell she enjoys it. But I was excited for her today because she's doing her AP testing this week, AP exams. And this girl is incredible. Each Saturday, she's been practicing for the AP exam, and she gets excited going into practice, which is not like me. When I was in high, I wasn't excited to do a practice, let alone do the AP exams. And I asked her, I said, "Why do you get excited?" And she says, "Because I get to challenge myself again. And every time I do, I get better." And I want to talk to you guys about that this morning. So this message actually comes from conversation that I had recently with my daughter, and it's about challenging yourself to get better. Okay. And the reason why I want to have this conversation with all of you, and it's just a heart-to-heart fireside conversation this morning. I have a video, I may play it, I may not, but I want to talk to you about a disconnect that I noticed. And it's a disconnect that I noticed with people at every level where there's leadership, and then there are up and coming leaders, whether it's in corporate America, whether it's in sports, all over the place. There's a disconnect. And I've seen it happen in ACN, and it happened with me coming from corporate America. See, when I came into ACN, my mentor said, "Be coachable. If you can be coachable and you can have work ethic, you can get a lot of results." And I want to ask you guys, how many of you have heard that before? Like we've all heard that before, right? If you can just be coachable, you can get a lot of results. And so for me, I decided to be coachable. And I thought I was being 100% coachable, but the truth was I was being coachable to the level of my comfort zone. And I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but I definitely wasn't being coachable to the point where I would have been getting more results. And that was a problem because I thought I was being coachable. My mentor knew I wasn't. The other thing was I came in with this type of a mindset. And can you guys do me a favor and really think about this, if this may pertain to you as well? I came in with more of I didn't know I was negative. I didn't know I was negative, but I came in with a negative mindset. But it was what I called normal, because in corporate America, it was normal. They didn't call it negative. Everyone had this mindset. Everyone had this weird mentality that everyone is out to get me. Have you ever, does anyone know what I'm talking about? Can you relate to that? So when I got into ACN, I came in with this negative energy that I thought was normal. So I didn't look to change it because I didn't think anything was wrong. And here was the energy. My mentor would say, "Here are the things that you need to do." And instead of doing them right away, I would think about how he was trying to manipulate me to get me to do things I didn't want to do. And I thought it was for his best interest. So because I had this weird conversation happening in my mind, I was slow to do the things he asked of me in the time frame he expected it of me. And it delayed the results I could have had I just been coachable. And it was strange because logically I knew what was up. Logically, I knew that he didn't make a dime until I made $1. Logically, I knew the faster I went up in the business, in the company, the more money he made. That was logical. But because I was so used to watching my back in corporate America, I was so used to people not having my back that I didn't want to listen, or I didn't want to act on the things he was telling me to do when he was telling me to do them. And the reason why I have this conversation is because I had to think back to corporate America, I realized that there was a disconnect even there. See, here's the problem. In corporate America, people will not do more than their job title. You guys notice that? And I'm not talking about leaders. I'm talking about the average employee. And if you're still working a job, I'm telling you, this is going to benefit you in ACN and in corporate America. Because the biggest mistake that I think human beings make is they fracture who they are. They split who they are, and they try to be a different version of themselves in each environment. So I don't pick on Daryl Ransom because he's always right there with me. And so imagine Daryl saying, I'm going to be corporate Daryl when I'm in corporate America. And then when he's with his friends, he's going to be like, I'm going to be the real Daryl with my friends. And then when he's with his family, he's going to be, I'm family Daryl now. And when he gets to ACN, I'm ACN Daryl now. Daryl's going to be confused. He's not going to know who he is anymore. And sometimes ACN Daryl is going to show up to corporate, and sometimes homie Daryl is going to show up with his family, and sometimes family Daryl is going to show up with ACN. He's going to be confused. And because he has to shift gears all the time, he's going to move slower. He's not going to be in the present moment. And if he's not in the present moment, he's not as powerful as he could be. See, your power lies in the present. Here's the reality. That's the only real moment that exists. The future's not here. The past is gone. The only real moment that exists is now. And we spend so much time living in other places, no wonder we have no power in the moment. All right? So let's get back to corporate America. In corporate America, a leader looks at an employee and says, wow, they're doing exactly what they were hired to do. In fact, they're doing an amazing job. We hired Belinda Batiste. She is shining as an employee. She's doing amazing. And here's what the leader says. The leader says, I see Belinda at a higher position. I see her with a promotion. So you know what the leader does? The leader starts to give Belinda extra projects to do to see if she can handle them. But the corporate mindset of the average employee says, I'm only supposed to do what I'm paid for. So you know what Belinda does? Belinda says, oh my gosh, my boss is trying to take advantage of me. How dare he? I'm not going to do these extra projects. I'm not getting paid for that. I'm going to continue to do my job, because that's above my what? Pay grade. And guess what happens? Belinda doesn't get the promotion. And then she wonders why. She says, I'm doing my job to the best of my ability. I'm showing up every single day. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. See, what happens with the average individual, and I'm saying this because the average individual is who shows up in ACN. The average individual's mindset is what? You've heard Mr. Al Thomas say this. Give me the fire and then I'll chop the wood. See, the average employee is expecting to get the promotion and then the new tasks that come along with the promotion. But what they don't realize is transformational leadership is stretching you outside of your comfort zone first to see if you can handle it. And if you can handle it, then because you're doing more, you get paid more. Now, let's move this over to ACN. I was coaching someone recently, and they were upset with me because I saw what they were doing, and I was helping them to push them to do more. And I saw it, and I didn't get angry because I remember who I was when I was new in a mindset. And I don't mean necessarily just new in the business, but new in this type of mindset. I remember when my mentor was trying to stretch me, I thought he was trying to take advantage of me. But he wasn't. He was trying to get me to do the things and be the person that I needed to become in order to deserve getting paid more. And I was working with this individual, and she was upset with me because I was stretching her out of her comfort zone. I was holding her accountable for the things that she said she was going to do. And when she didn't do those things, we talked about it. And instead of her looking at the things and seeing that she's being stretched to be a better leader, she felt entitled to the way she was feeling because she was feeling bad about the situation. So instead of holding on to the opportunity to stretch, she contracted and held on to her entitlement and her blame, which means she actually let go of an opportunity to grow. Does that make sense? See, oftentimes we ask ourselves, when is it going to be my time in ACN? When is it going to be my time to win in life? When is it going to be my time to be successful? And the truth of the matter is, most people don't realize that they were blind to all the times they had an opportunity for it to be their time, because it didn't show up feeling like they thought it would. See, people feel that my time is going to show up like it does in the movies. See, in the movies, when you see the hero's time, you get excited for the hero. But we fail to realize that the reason why we get so excited for the hero is because we see them going through adversity in that time, and they overcome the adversity. So we get excited seeing them go through that arc, but we forget that there's pain involved with it when it comes to real life. And so your time isn't going to feel like watching the movie. Your time is going to be challenging. Your time is going to be painful. Your time is going to be hard. But your time has nothing to do with the feelings. It has everything to do with the courage and the commitment to push through so that you can get to the next level. See, your time is going to come with having faith that the person that you're working with, your mentor, wants you to be successful, and you have to block out and ignore the negative thoughts that you brought to the table, because those negative thoughts are keeping you down. So you got to look around. If the people that you're around don't inspire you, if the closest people around you don't inspire you, you actually don't have friends, you have a cage. That's Nipsey Hussle. So what I'm trying to tell you is this: until you get free in your mind, you will never be free in your finances. Until you get free of the negative thinking, until you get free of the elitist thinking where you just feel you deserve something just because you're a good person. Until you get, here's a big one, until you stop negotiating with your mind, you will never be free. See, the thing is that the reason why some leaders win and why most don't is because each leader, I know RVP Jocelyn Driscoll, she could tell you this. I know a lot of the regional directors can tell you this. The difference between consistent top producers and everyone else, it's a small difference. And some of you are going to catch this today, and I'm going to be so excited. You know how I know you're going to catch it? You're going to be in production. Some of you are going to be like, oh my gosh, this was a great, great conversation, but you didn't get it. And you're going to remain where you're at. Here's the difference. The people that are in top production consistently, they understand this one thing. They are non-negotiable with getting the results or doing the work. I don't care what it is that you do. See, for instance, early this morning, I woke up early. Those of you that did the challenge with me before, you already know. early, right? So I'm up early. So I woke up this morning. First thing that I did, those that know me, worked out. I did a crazy workout. Next thing I did is I did my 3-pound weighted jump rope. There's nobody here holding me accountable. I didn't have to wake up and do it. No one was gonna get in my face and say, hey man, I thought you were gonna get up and do your workout. I do it regardless. There's no one texting me, making sure I did my workout. It's painful. I don't like to do the jump rope. My shoulders are on fire when I do the jump rope. And I'm doing it after I already did a difficult workout. So I go into the jump rope already drenched in sweat. And then I walk King, my dog, and then I take a hot shower or cold shower. What do you guys think? Cold. Belinda said it, cold. Why? I have warm water. I could take a warm shower. I enjoy warm showers. Why do I take a cold shower? Because it has nothing to do with it. Do you guys think I work out like that because I'm all about looking good? Put in the chat if you wonder why, if you know why I work out like that and I take these cold showers. Anybody know? No, it's not even about the feeling. There it is. Daryl Ranson said it. Yes, Heather Peary said it. Discipline. Am I disciplining my body or am I disciplining my mind? It's not even quality of life. I'm glad I asked you guys this question. Here's the reality. Heather, check this out. I'm disciplining my mind, and everything that shows up in the physical is just a projection of how well I'm disciplining my mind. I need you to think about that for a second. So what does that mean in other words? In other words, how I show up physically, how I show up in my finances, how I show up in my work ethic, all they are projections of how I show up in my mind. So I work out, overriding the governor. Ironically, T, that was the video I was probably going to play, the 40% rule. Ironically, people that don't realize this, you know what they think? Oh my gosh, I just need to work out more. I need to do these things. I like the way so-and-so is producing. If I could just sound like so-and-so, I can have success. You know how many weirdos I hear say stuff like that? Like, oh, they see a new top producer and let's say he's killing it or she's killing it in production. They think if I could just record their presentation and say exactly what they say, the way that they say it, I can get their results. That's what people think about. Well, if they'll ask me, most people, when they see me, they'll say, well, what type of workouts do you do? That's the wrong question. You know what the right question is? What kind of personal development do you do? How do you build your mind so that you have the resiliency, the consistency to build your body through pain? See, the questions you guys should be asking is, how is somebody getting a rock solid mindset so that they're non-negotiable with the time that they carved out to prospect every single day? How are they able to go through it each day and be positive without making an assumption because they went through no's? How is it that a leader can be non-negotiable even though they don't want to do it? They get up and do it. What are they really focused on? See, these are the questions that I would be asking if I were you. And I would ask leaders that. Sometimes people get scared because coming from corporate America, there are certain weird companies where you're supposed to follow the chain of command, and how dare you ask somebody higher? How dare you, right? That's not what this is. You have the ability to ask these questions and to get these answers. And so I want you to think about something, because people are really, you know, you'll hear some people say, well, this person's just not operating at their best, or they're not operating at 100%. They have all this potential, but they're not there yet. Have you guys ever heard that before? You guys heard that? It's not true. I'm gonna tell you a secret. Everyone is operating at 100%. I want you to think about that. So everyone's operating at 100%. Well, if everyone's operating at 100%, then what's the issue? It's your mindset ceiling. Your 100% is what you think you can do based on the limitations of your mindset. So I may know that you could do more, but you know for sure you can't in your mind. So that becomes your cap at 100%. You can't go any further. You're always going to operate at 100%. So the only thing that you can change is what? You have to raise your mindset cap. See, when you raise it, when you get higher in your mindset cap, guess what happens? Your 100% looks bigger. You're always going to operate optimally, but you're going to operate optimally based on the level of thinking that you have. And the reason why this is so important is because there are a lot of people on here that want to win, but there are some people on here that come on every single day looking for one of the guest speakers to say something that's gonna like levitate them to success. I use that word on purpose because it's the truth. I see people hanging on words. If I could just get that one word, that's gonna transform me into a leader and levitate me to success. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You have to decide to be non-negotiable. Then you have to decide to have courage. People say, well, I need to be confident before I can be courageous. Have you ever heard anybody say that? Like, I can't do this because I don't have confidence. Here's the irony in that. Confidence is the thing you get last. It's not the thing that shows up first. Here's what you need to do first in order to get confidence. And I'm going to share this with you and then I'm done. First thing you need to do, first of all, who wants to have confidence? Who wants to have more confidence? Anybody? I'm looking through the screen to see who wants to have more confidence. Jekko, you want more confidence? Willie Cribb, Ismail, you want confidence? Louisa, you want confidence? Okay, I'm looking through here. So I'm going to give you, I see hands raised. Maria, I see you. Vanita, I see you. All right, so here's confidence. Here's how confidence really works. Write this down. There are 4 steps to confidence. The first thing you need is a commitment. You need a commitment. What do we know what a commitment is? Doing the thing you said you were going to do long after the feeling you had when you said it has left you, right? That's a commitment. That's the first thing. The second thing you need is courage. Courage. Guess what, guys? Courage doesn't feel good. I need to let you know this so that you manage your expectations. Courage is doing the thing afraid. Notice I didn't say you have to be fearless. My opinion, there's no such thing. Like, what? People have fear. That's why they're so great, because doing things despite the fear is courage. Courage is better than being fearless. So you have to have courage, and you have to understand that the part of courage is uncomfortable. You're going to be very uncomfortable, but expect it. It's called normal, all right? Because this is the process to confidence. So do it scared, do it anyway. That's courage. The third thing is capability. You do it scared with courage on repeat, and you will start to become capable. And the awareness of your capability in the thing you were courageous in is what creates confidence. Confidence is just an awareness of your capability, going from not knowing how to do something to knowing how to do something. And the biggest takeaway from that I want to leave you with is the first two C's. In order to recreate confidence in everything you do, you got to get really good at being clear on your commitment and having the courage to act. In other words, remember, is it going to be comfortable or uncomfortable? The courage part. Uncomfortable. But is that okay? Yes. It's the only way to get to capability. And once you get to capability and you're aware that you're capable, now you have the confidence. So with that being said, I just want to let you guys know that we're going to have an incredible ride this May. I have some really, in my opinion, some thought-provoking things that are going to help you open up, because let's face it, ACN is simple. We ask for favors. We sort through people. We say, you like it? If it's a yes, sign up. If it's a no, be my customer. That's simple. Guys, what's not simple is what's going on up here and sorting through that. And if we can sort through that so that you can do the simple things, you can get results on a consistent basis. So, Mr. King, I think I will turn it back to you, sir. Thank you all for being on here this morning. I hope you got some value out of our talk.